So I lost count on which seminar we are in.
This
Maybe
is
it's 131.
14th seminar.
Okay, anyway, Happy New Year to all. It's 2025, and this year will be the year for BioCoherence. So it's very good to meet you again. I just wanted to show you what happened in version 1.19, which is already available since a few days or weeks. And maybe you missed some points. And then show you what will happen in 1.20. I think, yes, Stephen, you started showing some things yesterday about AI assistants, because this is something I wanted to try since long, and we have absolutely amazing results. And we had some feedback yesterday about how we started to show them. So we took your feedback into account, and you will see that it's maybe better than yesterday because it moves very fast here. So if you see something yesterday, it will probably be fixed today. Okay, so what did we have in 1.19? So 1.19 is available everywhere, including on the official App Store and Play Store and so on. I think the main novelties was that now the meditations are pre-computed entirely. It means that when you launch a meditation, when you go on the meditation screen, it will load all audio files from our server, but it will also start computing all the frequencies as audio files and save these audio files locally on your device. But if it will also send them to the cloud, well, fetch them from the cloud. So it means that as time goes by, you don't need to compute anything locally because everything will be downloadable directly for the cloud. I'm getting lost in translation because it's too technical. Let's just rewind and just say that now you can play the meditations with the screen off, and you don't need a very powerful device to play the meditations, because until now, you might have some bad experiences with the meditations and maybe the frequencies with glitches and the sounds that would make some bad noises and so on. So this is a thing from the past for the audio meditations, and it will be a thing from the past also with the frequency player in the next version, because as for the meditations, the frequency player will be pre-computed too. It's not yet pre-computed, so maybe on devices that are not powerful enough, you might still have some glitches when you play the frequency alone in the harmonic boosts. But that will be also fixed. So the main benefit for everybody is that we can now play the meditations and soon the frequencies on every device, including low-end Android devices, etc. And that is, of course, very important, because if we want to launch this thing in the general public, we need to be able to play the meditations on every device. So it is fixed for the meditation, and it will be fixed for the frequencies very soon. So you can, I will just say another technical thing, and I hope it's not too technical. Everything will be pre-computed when it's biomarker harmonizations. It means the white elements in the player. But it will be pre-computed on your device when you add some protocols. So when you add blue elements in the harmonic boost player, because in that case, it will become very individualized programs, meaning that each program will really be integrating frequencies that are specific to the person. And in that case, it will be pre-computed on your computer before playing. So usually you shouldn't even see it, because you don't know that the computer, the software is starting to pre-compute everything in the background while you are clicking on the meditation. But we will have the same benefit when you start going to a part where there are some specific protocols, and these protocols include specific frequencies for the user. It will also have been pre-computed during the former parts. So there's a lot of cooking in the background of the app, and my hope is that you don't see anything. And
So
it's
would
just
this
transparent for
include,
you. Yeah.
would these include the meditations that we decide to add ourselves
Yes.
individually
Yeah.
from the menu as we
Yes.
go?
So it's already the case that the audio files are downloaded from our server. So we have audio files. There are more like 4,000 audio files in 5 languages. So that makes something like 20,000 audio files, which starts to be a lot. And now you are also downloading the precomputed frequency files for each of the biomarkers, and you are precomputing the frequency files locally if you are adding some specific protocols. So each time you add some specific protocols on an organ or a meridian or something like that, it will create the file in the background. So you don't know it, but it will be more efficient then.
Can I ask back up one question? Let's say we take a specific frequency for a specific biomarker.
Yes.
Is that a frequency that is calculated based on the frequency, say, of a kidney? How do you figure out which frequency I need to counterbalance the priorities that I have, for example?
Okay, so for each of the biomarker frequencies, so the white players in the harmonic boost, it is a preset of frequencies for each biomarker. It means the actual frequencies in kidneys, for instance, are not chosen according to your analysis, but the whole kidney program is chosen according to your analysis, and the whole kidney program by itself are always the same frequencies. Okay.
Where do these frequencies?
And these frequencies come from all of the sources that I could find, namely Rife frequencies, bioresonance frequencies, audio frequencies that are known to have effect on this, etc. So I have dozens of different frequency tables that are merged together into each of the biomarkers. And
so
then when you add protocols, sorry, I will just finish to explain. When you add protocols, so the blue elements in the harmonic boost, I don't know if it's clear for you, so let me just share my screen to explain, because it's an important difference. So if you go to a harmonic boost like that, you have white elements, and these white elements are stimulating the organs, okay? So I say organ, but it can be an acupuncture point, or it can be elements about the papillomavirus and so on, or it can be burdens like geopathic stress. So this is all the elements that will activate these systems. But if you want to work on geopathic stress and add some protocols, when you click here, you have some elements that could be interesting. So for instance, with geopathic stress, I don't know why it's in French, but this is Earth harmony and unity. Okay, great, let's add it. Earth resonance, let's add it, and so on and so on. But you can also search here and say, for instance, for geopathic stress, I want to do something with water. Okay, let's add water frequency. So you can actually here search across more than 1,000 protocols. Okay, so you have a short selection that is relevant to this, but you can search any protocol here. So if you search kidney, maybe you decide that kidney stones are linked to the geopathic stress because you have this information. So you can just add it, okay? And now I have here a block, which is made of the white elements, which will activate this system, and the blue elements, which will correct the system. Okay? Okay? But they are played together. It means that when I play these elements, we will always have some base frequencies related to geopathic stress and some corrective frequencies relative to these protocols.
It means by corrective, you mean it will compensate for whatever disharmony there is in the system.
Yes. So these are let's say the organ elements or the system elements, and these are frequencies that are known to do some corrections. So For instance, frequencies that are used in RIFE systems or frequencies that are used in bioresonance or things like that, that are frequencies to correct a problem. And now if you play the geopathic stress element in the meditation, it will play all of these frequencies together in the background. So you will have the geopathic stress guidance with the voice, but you will have all these frequencies that you selected in the background as frequencies. And some of these frequencies are dark blue, and some of these frequencies are light blue. There is a difference in that. The dark blue, you see there is a little emission here. These are mainly RIFE frequencies. So these frequencies could be also played electrically. But the light blue ones, you see there is a ear. So it's acoustic because they are mainly binaural beats.
Okay.
So these are binaural beats. It means that this is probably a very low frequency, like, I don't know, 8.2 hertz, for instance. So this is a frequency that you cannot hear normally. So this frequency will be mixed with one of the geopathic stress frequencies. And let's say in geopathic stress, you have 1000 hertz. And let's say this one is 8 hertz. So it will play 1000 hertz and it will mix it with this one to play 1008 hertz. And the binaural beat will be the difference between one frequency at 1000 hertz and another frequency at 1008 hertz, one in each ear. And it will create a beat in your brain around 8 hertz. And this beat will be the one that we want to achieve with this program. Okay?
So it's simultaneous, it's not sequential.
Yeah, exactly. We play always 4 frequencies at once.
4, okay.
Yes. And the frequencies are usually 6.73 seconds long because it's a Elphi multiple. So it's a multiple of Planck time.
Elf is Planck times phi?
Yeah, exactly. Planck times multiplied by phi to the power of
the exponent of
yes,
phi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 6.73 seconds is a multiple of Planck time times Elphi times Elphi times Elphi times Elphi, etc. Okay. And that is why this program is 134 seconds, because it has 20 frequencies that play and that change every 6.7 seconds. But you can change it if you want. You can make it shorter if you want to make a shorter program, or longer because you deem this program very important and you want it to be longer.
But it'll always be at a multiple of phi.
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful.
These different lengths are integer multiple of
power of phi, yeah.
Integer values of phi.
Yeah.
Of Elphi, sorry.
Just to clarify quick, so when you add these, you're saying anything underneath that you added in are going to be another layer. It's not going to go into the...
Yes. So we always play 4 frequencies at once. So if you have only a white one, it will play 4 frequencies from the organ. And if you have a mix of white and blue ones, it will play usually 2 frequencies from the organ and 2 frequencies from the corrective system, or maybe 3 and 1, etc. But it will be mixed together so that we put the organ in vibration and then we send the corrective frequencies. So we put this acupuncture point in vibration and we send some frequencies to it. We put this one in vibration, you know this one, DJ, and you know it vibrates, and we can send some corrective frequencies to it. It means this is exactly the resonance principle. If you put something in resonance and you add some information, it will go directly to it. That's what we do in this system.
Wow.
That's a great explanation. Thanks for explaining it that way.
May I ask a question?
Yes, sure.
When you add these extras, is it a good idea to add more on the minutes? You know, add more minutes to the protocol?
Okay, so when you play the meditation, it will not take into account the minutes you choose because it will play the frequencies during the whole guided meditation, during the whole part. So If the geopathic stress part is 3 minutes, it will play the frequencies during 3 minutes. But this is for the export here. So if I make it longer, it becomes longer.
Correct. But my question is it a good idea to add more minutes when you have all of those extra underlining frequencies?
Yes, sure. Especially if it's a very short program. So if this is a 60-second programs and you go into it and you add a load of programs, at one point you will want to make it longer. Because right now you see.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
This is a lot. So maybe you want it a bit longer.
And you just ask.
Just move it like that. Yeah.
Just like use your intuition. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
And as you know, you can export just the one with protocol, for instance, and do a specific file of everything that contains the protocol. And the goal of this is that you can have an MP3 file on hand that you can play. And this is the file that you can play when you are up and ready to front your problems. Because maybe you want to do another one, which is energy, and you want to export energy. And this one is one you can launch every time you feel a bit low, because these are the systems that your pro or you have identified to energize you. And so you can play it as much as you want. Okay. So I would suggest you do an export like that. You save it for energy. You do another one with protocols. You export and you save it, and then you play it on demand. When you say, okay, now I have half an hour before me, and I just want to relax and play my protocols, you just launch it. And when you say, oh, I feel a bit low, or I just woke up, or I don't know what, you just click on your energy. Because when you export the MP3 file, it will come with the album cover and the keywords and so on. So it will come at the right place into your MP3 player or into your Apple Music library and so on. So you will find it directly into it. So it's actually very convenient. And something I plan to do is a button to export all variants at once. So like something like export all, and it will prepare all the MP3s in the background and just give you a little notification when everything is ready, and you can download all files at once. So this will also come in the next version.
Have we got any testimonials from people using these meditations for a while and seeing if they're having benefits directly? Or it's still new and evolving? We need maybe some history of people starting at a certain point and evaluating the progress over time.
Maybe, Stephen, you want to talk about
Yes,
the new...
this is a very good time for me to jump in, because basically last night Medric sent me access to the most recent test version, which basically includes a number of pre-made meditations and harmonic boosts, which he's going to show on screen there now. So I basically started to look at it last night, and I went into the mind one, which is basically I have a clear head. And I started.
Where are you? Just so I see, where are you starting?
Let's go back. We are into priorities. So we are in open analysis. So we are an active pro, and we are into an analysis. We already have some priorities, but you want to add some more priorities. So we open the priorities library, and here you can pick a priority. For instance, you want to add the eyes. Okay, let's eye optic nerve. So you can search here by keyword and just add the elements on click, or you can see the computed priorities. So this is everything that the system tells you is probably interesting. Or you can go into the balance library, which was renamed, I don't know what, which is now renamed basic programs. Okay, it has changed named around 100 times, but I think I will keep basic programs. Maybe. So now it's called basic programs. So this is the place where you can record your own programs if you want, and you can share them with the community by making them public. But we also have some public programs that we did ourselves, and we did it nice with a little cover.
Uh-huh.
So when you have a program, you remember from a previous training, you can create a program like that and you can edit it, give it a name, and maybe give it availability to all users. So it can be programs that you use regularly with a lot of customers and you pre-record a set of priorities, okay? But if you want to make it public like that, these are programs that will be available to play by everybody, even without creating an account on the app. Because these are programs that we want people to be able to test and then to be convinced by the app and then go further and create an account and maybe connect with a pro to go further, you know, because when we go live, we need people to be able to download it from the App Store and directly try something. And they don't have an Apple Watch, they don't have a sensor and so on, but they can still try a pre-recorded meditation. So for the one about you were talking about, which is
Mind, yeah.
your head, you can click on it. And this is made by Christine. So if you do one and we decide to do it public, you will have your presentation here and people can actually connect you and take an appointment with you at this point, okay?
Wow.
Because this is part of the project directory. So this is made by Christine. She wrote a little text. And if you want, you can see the detail, or you can just add them to your priorities, or you can play them directly, okay? So we are in an active analysis, so you can just add to the priorities. But if I go back and I log out, okay, so the new homepage will be nicer than that because this is just my ongoing development version, but sorry, English again. There will be a nicer button, which is try basic programs without account, as you see here. So this is just a function. It will be nicer in the definitive version. And when you click that, you will have access to that in a more graphical version, of course. And without even having an account, you can start with, I have a clear head. Okay, and you can directly launch an harmonic boost or a personal guide. So if you want to launch that, you have directly access to every element that is into this. Or if you want to launch a personal guide, you will directly be able to play it.
If you could just go back to the harmonic boost page of the I Have a Clear Mind into the boost. So this is what I was listening to yesterday. And I really, really urge you guys to just go and listen to this one. It was very, very strange. My mind just became totally clear. All of the fog, all of the heaviness, all of the anxiety, perhaps, of the day, of the events of the year, of the future, of the past, all just basically went away in maybe 5 minutes. And it was actually like having almost like a psychedelic experience and just listening to the frequency. When you listen to the spoken word as well, it's even more powerful. So I can just say that for me, and I know I'm very, very biased as well, but these are really, really powerful frequencies. And what we would love to ask is for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of you guys or whoever may end up watching this to actually go and take the 21-day program and actually chart your progress. You know, just to actually show the world how powerful this is, or just basically go and listen to one of the harmonic boosts. It really, really is life-changing stuff. Like, it's unbelievable. So thank you.
How did you get into it again? From where do I get the harmonic boost?
That's I was going to ask that too. Is that under test lists if we're going to our?
That is new, but when you are on the home, okay, I'm not even registered, but when you are on the homepage here, you should have basic programs, which is maybe still called Balance Library in your version.
I got home, sets, test list, contacts.
Yes, sets. At one point, I wanted to name it sets, but it has changed again.
That's under mind, positive feelings.
So you probably have it already, but not as nice, just as text. And if you don't, you click on update here in the menu, click update, and it will reload it. And now you should have it. But you probably don't have the direct links to the boost yet. This is for the next version. But you can load it and use it.
That's awesome.
What is interesting is that two things are interesting. One is that I was over Christine's shoulder while she was creating it, and I saw a lot of not very easy things that I corrected. So it's very good to see you work with the app because you are not in my mind and I'm not in yours. So I need to see how you work.
Are you sure?
Sure.
So I made it much easier to create these kind of things in the next version. Okay. The idea is that you could be able to create these sets, these basic programs, sorry.
Sets is a good word. Sets
yeah,
is a
set
good
is a good word too, but
Yeah.
Finally I settled on basic programs for different reasons. But you can also use it with your own clients. I mean, if you are doing an analysis and you say, oh, I know exactly the set of priorities you need, you can use the priorities of the customer and just add this one in one click to their priorities and just enrich their programs with this one. So it's very powerful, in fact, to be able to add a set of elements that will be added to the harmonic boosts and added to the meditations in just one click by taking them from the library.
Yeah. And actually, just for me as well, I maybe woke up this morning around 6 a.m. and the first thing I did was I basically listened to that harmonic boost again, straight awake in 1 second without maybe having to wait maybe 20 minutes to wake up, just ding, back in the room. So very, very powerful.
You sure it wasn't the coffee?
It may have been the coffee. No, this was before the coffee. It's actually like your brain is just being shaken up for a second, and you're like, morning.
Okay, so the idea is that there will be maybe 3 to 5 free elements that you can test without even creating an account, and then much more elements that you can test when you have created an account, including elements made by Christine or maybe made by you. And on each element, there is a link on your account, on your profile page in the product directory. So the idea is that if people start using your basic programs and like it, they will really have the urge to take an appointment with you and get further because you will be shown as the specialist for this kind of problems. So it's actually a very good way to get known on the platform.
Just before Dan jumps in there, Kat just wants to know if the boosts are easy to access, would she be able to get them like now so she can send it to them to some people who are going through some tough times over in Los Angeles there?
Yeah, okay. So
even if you could export them as MP3s and maybe send them to the group.
You can do it.
Okay.
I will show you.
Cool. Kat, don't worry, we have your back.
Let me just show you how you can access it, because there is no public access in the current version. It's in the next version, but in your version here, if you don't open an analysis in the menu, you have basic programs here, which is maybe still called sets, unless you update. Because if you first thing you have to update here.
Mine just updated, so now it says that.
So now it says basic programs.
Yep.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So first thing you update, then it will say basic programs and it will load the public libraries.
Yeah.
And then you will find it here. So you can go to Mind and to say, I don't know, emotional relaxation. Just it will be not graphical. It will be like that. So probably.
Okay.
Other ones. Okay. But you will find it under the same name, and you can click it and add them as priorities, and then do a harmonic boost.
Okay, cool. Right. I'll do it straight after Kat, okay?
Yeah.
Does this work on an Android phone now?
Yes and no, because right now it depends on the device. Because okay, let's say we do a harmonic boost. When you play that, in the current version, it's still generated in real time. So it works on powerful enough devices. but on certain not powerful enough devices, it may make some cracking sounds, you know. So this will be fixed in the next version, but what works is the export. So what I would suggest is that you can just do harmonic boost, export. And then you will get the MP3.
But you have to be logged in to do that, right? I have to log.
Sure. You with your normal account.
Got it. Gotcha.
You were saying something about, I don't remember. Okay, Dan, you have a question?
I just got upgraded basic. But, when I look at my basic programs, it's in French, even though my everything's English.
Okay, I'll fix it.
And this is with the account, right? I mean, I'm logged in, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
To the demo account.
I'll see why. Maybe it has been fixed in the last version and not in yours. I don't know. Okay, I'll check that.
Just PC side.
Was that your question?
Yeah, but my question was how to get there, and then finally, because I did the update, and it took a while to update, and then I basically closed the program, reopened it, and then I saw the basic in my. But for right now, it's all. I mean, the heading, personal, energy, body, mind. That's all English, but the product, the programs are their headings are French.
Okay, I fix that. So the public elements in the basic programs was something new in this 1.19 version, and it has been greatly enhanced in the next upcoming 1.20 version. Another new thing was the progress, and I want to show you something about that. So when you open the file and you go to progress, you now have a new zone here, which is curves. And this is the same, you know, here you have all the different parts. So if you want, now it shows you only the first and the last analysis. If you have, for instance, here we have 8 parts. So if you want to see them all, you just expand it. And now you can see them all and maybe scrolling it and so on. But this is the former display, and you see it goes up, it goes down, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Maybe it's not very clear. So maybe this way is a better way to see it. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, and so on. But this is the actual score across all measurements of these different elements. When it's green, it means that the last one is higher than the first one. When it's red, it means that the last one is lower than the first one. So, and you see some elements are doing things like that, waves. And these waves is what we will get when I set up the time crystal melter that you heard about in the beginning and that I removed from the app for now. When you do at least 15 measurements, 16 measurements on the same analysis, we will start seeing things that wobble like that and that go up and down and up and down. It means that you don't find a way to deal with it. And that will be used as a basis for the time crystal melter, which will be another modality of healing problems that could be recurrent. So that will come later. Meanwhile, here you can see all the priorities, but you can also pick a category and see, for instance, all the chakras at once, or see all the main organs at once, or maybe see all the acupuncture points in LI, or maybe see all the elements of the lymphatic system. So that's actually very interesting. If you want to see how you are doing in analysis on a particular topic, That's very, very a lot of information here. So if you want to work on the glands, I don't know, and you can see how it goes.
So the feedback we're getting is all based on Ayurvedic principles or Chinese medicine. How do we know that these glands are going up and down? Is that
It comes from the analysis, from the measurement.
From the measurement of all the biomarkers.
Here, on this analysis, we have done 8 recordings. On each of these recordings has an evaluation of all the items.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maverick, I find it very strange. Can you show that again? The other one. That every column has the same result.
Right. That's fishy. Yeah, I have to check something.
Fishy.
Because I keep having that as well, and I always thought that doesn't make sense. I mean,
it looks a lot like a bug.
Yeah.
Okay. I will fix it. Yeah.
Check that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing it.
Welcome.
And by the way, if you have a very long recording with a lot of parts, sometimes you go here and you want to compare all the parts, and you click on 1, 2, 3, and so on, and you can directly see the values for all the parts. Okay. And the same here, you can see this one and this one and this one. And so you can see every element's moving recording by recording. Sometimes these elements are not calculated, and it's complicated to recalculate, to go back here and to open the magical button here and to click here and recompute things and so on. So I guess you didn't even know you could do that.
No.
So there is something much more simpler now. You go to progress, and here you have a refresh button. So when you click on it, it will show you this button, recompute all sections, and it will tell you it can be quite long, but you don't care. You just click on it, and everything will be recomputed at once. And that's how you can have the curves and the values for each of the different recordings. So if you go to the curves in a file where you have a lot of recordings and you don't have the curves, you just click here, and it will be a bit long, but it will recalculate everything. And once it's recalculated, you can also go to the pages and compare recording by recording like that.
So that when you say in the previous screen, does it do it sequentially, like first recording, second recording, third recording, or is
yes, it does. But the thing is that each evaluation is made when you have done the recording. But sometimes, for instance, when the file is sent through the cloud, maybe not information is sent because it could make a very, very large file. So you might receive a file where all the parts are not calculated. So in this case, you will have a blank column here with no information, and you will have maybe a flat line here. So in this case, you just click on recompute all sections, and you wait 1 minute or 2, and you have all the data that is recalculated back.
And this is local on my laptop, or is it set to the server?
No, it's local. Everything is calculated locally. The only thing we use the server for is to ship the files from our cloud from you to the end users and vice versa.
Oh, so that's why I'm having problems, because I want to start, and this may not be something that's here, but how about the MP3 players? Because I've been looking for them. I've shown this program, some of my friends at work threw me on Tuesday, they said, let's go have some beer and pizza. So we went and had a beer and some pizza, and I had my iPad with me, and 3 people there says, I want to do these frequencies. I'm really interested. Okay, so I did an analysis of the one man, but I didn't have him in my iPad contacts, which I thought was really strange because when it pulled up, it didn't give me the contact. But anyway, so it's just my name. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just buy some MP3 players, just small ones, and because that's like and now that you've shown me this basic program, my Clearhead or whatever you called it, that's the low hanging fruit. I mean, that's why I asked you to do this. Remember, when you changed the frequencies to subsets instead of just one? Yeah, because I was pulling them out that way and putting them on an MP3 player. But now you've done it for me, and then the export all, that saves me a lot of time.
And I must add that it's not completely finished as you saw it, but I think we will just add a button to download directly the MP3 from our server, because it's the same file for everybody, so it doesn't make sense to compute it 1,000 times on different devices. Once it computed one time, it can be downloaded directly. So you won't even need time to compute it. You can directly download it.
Okay, because I think that's how people are, and then combine it with the Ayurvedic and then the acupuncture meridians. So I mean, this is really going to go far.
So I think the other news in 1.19 is that the MP3 generation is much faster because we integrated it on the hardware directly. So now it's really fast. And we also worked on the synchronization. When you have a file between you and your user, the synchronization is better. And I am considering maybe saving automatically to the cloud every time, because 9 complaints out of 10 that we record, that we get as tickets, is, oh, I made a recording on my phone and I don't find it on my laptop. What's happening? And it's just because you didn't save it to the cloud. So I am setting up a settings page for the next version. And in the settings page will be checked by default, always save my files to the cloud. And you can uncheck it if you want privacy and you have only one computer. But I think by default, it's important to always send it to the cloud so that you can find it on all of your devices. So that will just save 9 out of 10 problems that our users have. But you will still have the possibility to check that you want everything to stay locally by default. Okay, speaking of privacy, 1.20 and AI helpers. Oh, TJ, I know you love it. Let me just share my screen. So this is a new function that I wanted to integrate as a way to start something mainly for end users, but also for you. So when you have analysis, you have a new button here, which is AI helpers, but you can also start without an analysis. And there are some new pictures. It's not robots anymore. It's not robots anymore, I mean. So the idea is that we trained around 20 different AI models around specialties like that. And when you click on it, you still have some things to accept, like the thing that some of your data, so some of your biomarker data will be sent to the AI helper, and it is not locally on your device. So it will be actually sent to an API. We don't have the compute power to do that locally. So you have to accept that. And you will be connected to a robot, and it's not monitored by a human, and it may contain errors, because the state of AI is that it's like a super good assistant, but a junior assistant, okay? So it will not replace the pros. The idea is that it will start building some curiosity for people, but at some point, the bots will redirect the users to the pros. That's the point. So it can be used by you if you have some specific questions on some fields that you are not sure about, but it's also it's mainly thought to be something fun that people can use directly from the App Store and start talking with it, and then be curious and want to go further. And to go further, they have to connect with a real person, you know. Okay, so when you start with, for instance, the TCM practitioner, you see that it will receive 170 pertinent biomarkers. So it's about maybe 10% of your biomarkers, which are related to TCM. And you can just ask him, okay, what are my priorities? So at this point, it will receive your biomarkers and some elements, and you can start a discussion. And the idea is that it can show you some elements, it can play some harmonic boosts, and it can select some lists to test. So it can actually interact with your real results, give you some information, and maybe you want to proceed with the harmonic boosts, and it will directly allow you to play it in the discussion. Ouais. And you can, of course, ask real questions like, how is my BL meridian? It will maybe ask our system, and it says you, okay, it's in a resource state, which indicates it has a potential to support and so on. So this is information that is sent by our app to the AI along with other biomarkers, and it can make some presentation about that. So it's just a way to access your different data in a more friendly manner.
Is this from a, excuse me, is this from a existing analysis, or do you need to?
No, it's from an existing analysis. Okay. I am currently into this analysis. So
it came from an, okay.
It's reading this. So I chose the TCM practitioner. So it received information about my meridians, some important points, some important organs, and so on. And it starts with that, but it also has the ability to ask some precisions about other systems. For instance, it can ask for the status of every acupuncture point in a particular meridian or things like that. And when it's ready, it can also maybe suggest some modifications into your harmonic boosts and your priorities. So it's actually a fun way to interact with your results. That's the point. And the idea to have many different specialists like that is that there will each one of them will receive a different set of priorities and biomarkers on the different set of skills and things that they can answer. But actually, if you want to play with the yoga coach, it's really fun because it will say, okay, according to your priorities, I see that you should work on this meridian on this one, and I can suggest you this pose or this one. And it's actually very interesting.
So is this like an ultimate search button?
What?
Like a search button. Like if I want to find out how I can help my mom with her.
Yeah, look, you can ask to suggest when it does an answer, it suggests some of your answers, so you don't even have to type something. But you see, according to my analysis, it suggests some yoga poses. It's amazing.
So this is where we should go to search for anything.
You can search for information with that, but if you want to search for a specific biomarker, is that your question? You can find it here. When you pick a priority, here you have a search. So you can...
Hear it. Okay, thank you.
You can find the gallbladder, for instance, or anything. Okay. Yeah, and here you can add them directly to your priorities.
Can you go and get there again real quick, just so I can see it, how you again?
Pick a priority.
Okay, so priorities to pick. Okay, thank you.
So this is how you can search for a specific biomarkers.
Just to make the point that when we're talking about the AI, it is completely self-contained within the BioCoherence cloud. So it's not basically out on the internet or basically out beyond our system. This is all...
No. That's not true. We don't have the compute power to make it. So it's actually using OpenAI API. So that's why you have
That's learning.
That's why you have to accept that some of your data will be sent to an external server because we don't have the compute power to run this on our own server at this point. Maybe one time when we sell a lot of licenses, we can maybe buy a bunch of H100s, but it's very expensive. So right now we are using an API system from OpenAI, but honestly, they receive, I don't know, hundreds of millions of requests per day, and they don't train on the question answers that are sent to the system. So I would say it stays pretty private. What stays on our server is the whole history. It means that the history discussion is stored along with your analysis. So if you open another analysis and you go back to the AI, you will find the whole history of your discussion with this AI, and that comes from our server. So it's stored securely along with the analysis.
So is there a way to hard reject the AI?
Sorry, just 1 second. Wait.
Oh.
Okay, I will have to stop in 2 minutes because I actually have to care for something for my kid. So yes, go on, Anthony, and then maybe I leave you with Steven.
Yeah, I was asking, AI comes on and starts interacting, and it asks you if you would like to receive support of the AI. But there was no hard reject there. There was no, I don't want AI. So my question is
Yes,
there a way?
There was. At the beginning of the AI, you have to accept that you are interacting with an AI, and if you don't accept, nothing is sent to the AI.
That's correct. But what I'm asking is there a way to select, no, I don't want AI to interface with this, with my reading or something? Is there a way to hard cut it? Because some people don't want a third party. They want privacy completely, or they won't do it.
Yeah. So nothing is happening with the AI before you start interacting with it. So nothing is actually sent to the AI before your first question to an AI.
But it's in there in the readings.
No.
There's an AI field. Oh,
no.
Once you activate it, the field shows up?
I don't understand. Nothing is sent to the AI if you don't send a question to the AI.
Okay, because under priorities, resources, then it showed up, it had AI helper.
Yes, yeah.
So the helper will always be there. There's no way to not have the helper. That's what I'm asking. So that it's not interactive in the
It's not active. It's a menu item. It's not active.
You have to press that button to engage the helper.
You have to click on it, choose one, accept that some information will be sent, and then actively ask a question. And at that point, something will be sent out to the AI, but nothing before that.
So there's no way to actually say, I don't want AI in my program.
No, you don't. People don't have that
option. There is no AI in your program if you don't start interacting with it. But I guess your question is that, is there a way to remove it from the menu? Is that a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's for some people, they don't want it, period.
Yeah. So, okay. So maybe we can just put it in the settings to remove some menu elements.
Yeah. Or
that's why we were talking yesterday of not calling it AI, but calling it something else. But
okay, I'm sorry, but I really have to leave because I have an appointment for my kid in 20 minutes. What do you want to do, Steven? Do you want to continue? I don't know if you can stop the recording.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just stop it now, sure.
I put you as a. Can you now stop the recording?
I have recording.
Do you have a button stop recording?
No. But if you want to stop it, sure. Like we'll
okay,
just
so
stop.
I just stopped the recording now, and I hope there will be not a lot of very interesting questions.
It's gonna take off now.
Otherwise, just save it for next week.